About 5 or 6 years ago, I walked into work with a new t-shirt. Nothing special, like a $15 t-shirt, but I walked into work and a nice woman said, "That t-shirt looks really good on you." Now, 99% of cases, that would have been like another day, just another offhand compliment. But this woman was not just any other woman. She was, at the time, she was my work crush. Anyone that's been in an office setting, that's started working in their career, they will have one of these at some point in their lives. Someone, when they're around you, you're like a little nervous, you're a little shy, but you laugh a little harder at their jokes than the joke deserves. All these little things, she was one of those. And the reason I tell you that story is because that day, I was wearing an olive green t-shirt. And I subconsciously, without even realizing at the time, I subconsciously convinced myself that olive is like my new color. That is like one of my favorite colors now. Like right now, it is still one of my favorite colors. And it wasn't on purpose, subconsciously, because I received that compliment at that time from that person. I started to like that color. And this month, Jordan Brand is dropping a Jordan 4 shoe. I say this all the time about Jordan 4s. Very hard to make an ugly Jordan 4. But they're dropping a Jordan 4 shoe that is in that color. All of it. The whole shoe. Or 90% of the shoe. Air Jordan 4 Craft Olive. Now the shoe is officially dropping on November 18th for $210 in the United States. This is a sequel to the Jordan 4 Craft that dropped in February this year. It also reminds me of the undefeated Jordan 4s as well as the Travis Scott sample. Don't know if either of them was an inspiration, but right off the bat, initially when I saw images, I thought this olive green was a bit brighter, which I didn't actually like. I like a darker shade of green. So in hand, when I see them and compare it to images, at least on my computer screen, on my phone, it looks slightly darker, which is great for me. That's exactly how I like my green. And the Jordan 4, originally released in 1989 for a retail price of $110. So convert that to $2023, it's around $260 to $270. Pretty whopping price even back then. And this shoe, in true craft fashion, comes with a mix of materials. So the base layer, like around the ankle collar, just above the mudguard, all the way around. It is nubuck. It is very smooth. I do like this type of nubuck. Now on the mudguard, as well as the mid panel of the shoe and the eye stays, as well as the tongue, comes in suede. So this one, more of that hairy suede. If you're into that texture, this one's for you. I do like that smooth and plush suede that you see on other shoes. The first one that always comes to mind recently has been the Kith New Balance 1700 Toronto. That has really, really nice suede that I really like. And sticking true to the craft theme, just like the Jordan 4 Craft that came out earlier. The side of the shoe, where you usually see the netting of the Jordan 4, this one is just suede, so you don't see that netting. And the wings of the Jordan 4 is also slightly different. This part over here, they changed the materials on this. Feels like that cracked leather. I don't particularly love that. It's not the worst because it's just like very small amount. And they've also added this suede patch on the ankle collar, just like the Crafts from earlier this year. Now, one thing that I did not like about the Jordan 4 Crafts, that had that pale vanilla Jumpman on the tongue, as well as the booty of the shoe. This shoe has the same type of pale vanilla Jumpman on the tongue and on the booty. For whatever reason, on Jordan 4s, I know Jordan Brand has used this color before, but on this Jordan 4, on the Craft Jordan 4s, this color on the Jumpman, it just kind of reminds me of like, you dip this in like pee or something. It just does not look very good. So if you like it, it's not an attack. Personally, it's just not for me. And speaking of the tongue, just like other Jordan 4s, a Jumpman on the tag of the tongue and then the word flight under it. Inside the tongue, it is an upside down Air Jordan. And if you're curious, they put it upside down because back in the late 80s, early 90s, people would wear their shoe with their tongues like flipped out. So they anticipated people doing that. So when you flip it out, it would read Air Jordan on the right side up. So there's a fun fact. And the Jordan 4 does come with a polyurethane midsole with obviously a visible Nike Air unit on the heel, as well as a Nike Air unit on the forefoot. Now this midsole, they went with sale. Couldn't help themselves. I get it. Maybe you're trying to complement the pale vanilla Jumpman. But yeah, for sale midsoles, I'm like 80% to 90% over them. Sometimes they look really nice on certain shoes, but I think I still would have preferred a wide midsole on this shoe. And the Jordan 4 does come with a rubber outsole with herringbone traction. I do really like the outsole of the Jordan 4. Don't love that pale vanilla color. Again, Like I mentioned before, that color being on the outsole almost kind of reinforces my point of it being like pea stains. Again, that's just me. That's just my own head. I gotta get it out of my head. Now, this shoe doesn't come with any extra laces. I think the olive laces look really nice, but I do wish they would have given us another option. $210, you only deserve one set of laces. Just one. Not one more. Box of the shoe, a pretty standard Jordan 4 flight box. I think the Jordan 4 box is just one of the best. Super sturdy, none of this Jordan 1 Nike box. And the green color of this box, it looks so nice. Love it. Now moving on to size and comfort, I'm a size 9.5 true to size. I do have wide feet. For Jordan 4s, I do have to go up half a size, and for everyone that's familiar with Jordan 4s, they'll know this by now. It is notoriously one of the more uncomfortable Jordans, at least from 1 to 14, and a huge reason is because of that toe box. If you had wide feet especially, and flat feet, this pinky toe area, it just really crushes you. As well as this arch, that can really hurt you as well, especially before you break the shoe in, right out the box. It is a very stiff feeling shoe. This is no perfect fit, because when I go up half a size, the toe box feels better, the arch feels better, but the length, it's just a bit more room than I would like. It's either perfect length, we're too tight in terms of width, or a bit too much length, but perfect width. What do I choose? I choose perfect width. Now this Jordan 4 in particular, it's actually not as stiff as some other Jordan 4s, like the Jordan 4 navy blue that I have. That was super stiff out of the box. I'm actually doing a slight experiment for Jordan 4s. I have a video of that coming up very shortly, but overall, Jordan 4s are not a very comfortable shoe. It's got a reputation for a reason. Now, one saving grace, the padding around the ankle collar as well as the tongue inside the shoe, that's all really nice. The cushioning is pretty decent, still pretty flat to the ground. Does have a Nike Air unit on the heel as well as the forefoot. Still a pretty heavy shoe, like in general, but yeah, Jordan 4s, not the most comfortable. And that brings the total sole score of the Air Jordan 4 Olive to 26 out of 30. Now, in terms of colorway, like I explained at the intro of my video, I think there's better colorways than like an all olive shoe, like a Chicago colorway, a UNC blue colorway, but the olive green has a special little place in my heart, so I might be a bit biased, but I really like the colors on the shoe. Some hints of black, different shades of olive. One nitpick, like I mentioned before, is that pale vanilla. Don't love that, but everything else is different, but not too different where it's like uncomfortable for me personally. It's just the right balance. I really like the colorway of the shoe. Now in terms of materials, I like the nubuck on the shoe. The suede, not so much. It's more that hairy suede. I don't love that. The cracked leather wing, I definitely do not like that. Again, I'm biased. I think leather is king. Nubuck and suede, all forms of leather, but objectively speaking, if you don't mind this craft construction, I think the materials are pretty nice. Now in terms of comfort, Jordan 4, I'm not the only one. Jordan 4, a lot of people find it uncomfortable, and I think it's warranted, especially as a wide footer. It's just very stiff out of the box, takes a while to break in, but even then, the toe box area might just be a little too tight, so as a wide footer, there's just no perfect solution. I like the cushioning around the ankle collar, around the tongue, inside my feet, that's all fine, and still, it's just a stiff feeling shoe. Now in terms of versatility, I think the silhouette itself, the Jordan 4, super versatile. People love it for a reason. It's probably in terms of like popularity, probably the most popular Jordan brand shoe right now. The Jordan 1 hype and popularity has really declined this year. Jordan 4, I think, has taken its place, and for good reason. Super easy to wear. And in terms of the versatility of this colorway, it is quite different, but I think olive green is still one of those colors that works pretty well. It's not a standard basic color, but it's not like a violet, pink, and purple. You know what I mean? Like a super loud shoe. I think it's still pretty easy to wear, but obviously not as much compared to some other colorways. I'm a simple guy. Black, white, gray. That was pretty much my rotation in my closet. But after that innocent compliment that I told you about at the beginning of this video, I made room for olive, and I'm definitely making room for this shoe in my rotation. So that's it. Thanks for watching Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 4 Olive. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.